you're completely puzzled by what you see in your reality, you're in good company. So anyway, sometimes I drive out and I look for junk on the side of the road and I repurpose it for all sorts of stuff, but I came across some cool magazines. This one's Liberty, this one's from 1927, 5 cents. Yes, I said I did love you. We got this guy from February 11th, 1939. Not So Free Air. Interesting. And then we've got this one here from, I'm guessing it's 1938 because it says the 1938 Plymouth. And it says Fatalist with Machine Gun. And I kind of like to look through the magazines and I thought people might find it interesting. We can see here, flip through some of the advertisings, just the way they kind of talked. I just realized I'm gonna have to like bend down to read this because popular copyrights are a smash hit. Millions of books can now be had at 20 books for $1. And then it has a list of all the books you can get, 20 of them for $1. Let's just read through some of the titles. Are we machines? Do we live forever? Is death inevitable? Are the planets inhabitable? Lost civilizations. Is the moon a dead world? Puzzle of personality. Facts about electricity. Manhood, facts of life. Origin of human race. Every girl should know. Rhyming dictionary. Insects and men. Instinct versus reason. Dictionary of U.S. slang. Hints on public speaking. Love letters of a nun. Evolution of sex. Sex life in Rome. 4 essays on sex. Love rights of women. Do we need religion? Problems of birth control. Psychology of suicide. Prostitution in the U.S. Facts about music. What young woman should know. What married men should know. What married women should know. Bill Nye's humor. That's interesting. Facts about sleep. Story of cancer. How to become a detective. Why many women are sexually unattractive. How to become mentally superior. Strange marriage customs. What atheism means. Truth about Jesuits. Sexual crimes in U.S. law. Either way, all these are really, really interesting books. We have some Jones Dairy Little Sausage. The Safeway. Let's see, looks like for glasses. Speaking of pictures, and these are pictures of Hitler with children. You can see he's with the child here. And some of these say like, come on out and play, reads the caption for this photograph. It adds, for once the dictator is dictated to, but doesn't seem to mind very much. Apparently a child must be telling Hitler, I don't know, something. And then we have here, the mother instinct is here personally encouraged by childless Adolf Hitler, who is assuming the role of a judge in a little girl's doll contest. So here's Hitler judging some dolls. A little boy examines Hitler's swastika armband with wonder while Hitler and his fellow diners look on with fond amusement. And we just have some more here. It says Hitler is amused by this tiny brown shirt whose bearing and dress are childish mockery of the panoply Nazism cherishes. We have some pans here. The choice of 3 million women. Speaking of pictures, we have some more pictures here of Hitler. Only a photographer would think of massing his subjects to get this exciting shot. This is youth supposedly conferring with for her over a simple luncheon table. Sorry if I butcher words. I'm not a professional at language. Looks like we have You get extra wear of a second pair. Some shoes there. And here we say, it's true, nurse, the richest woman in town, and she gives her children margarine. And she's perfectly right. Doctors say there isn't a fresher, purer, more wholesome spread for children than Good Luck. And you know Good Luck contains important vitamins. It's funny, we'll get into vitamins here in just a second. Good Luck with vitamin A and D. All right. This is interesting here. We got some tooth powder plus liquid equals toothpaste. Fun with a gun is the constitutional right of every American. I think this is interesting too, because I've looked at a lot of like the bison, kill off the millions of bison, and they would like stop trains and have the passengers to shoot the bison. And if you shot enough of them, you get an award. And they just killed off all the millions of them. It says this bear was shot in Michigan by a hunter named Tom Hollins. Split open and cleaned, it lies at the feet of a ranger who offered to tote it back to camp. Hunter Hollins is one of 7 million citizens who are stalking America's forests and swamps this autumn. They are the most numerous army of hunters in the world, much the largest group of sportsmen in the U.S. There is an expensive sport costing each hunter an average of $45 a year. Americans inherit the hunting instinct from generations of pioneers who shot their way across 3,000 miles of the American continent. The crack shot was the hero of the frontier, and as of the late World War, European officers were amazed by the marksmanship of the American doughboy. Hunting itself is a privilege, which any of the states can restrict, but owning and shooting a gun is the constitutional right of every American. Article 2 of the Bill of Rights reads, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And here we just have a bunch of people hunting, and this is what they wanted people to see. And it just looks like go and kill and murder all these animals out here. We already took care of the bison. Let's get rid of all the other. We have them in their lodges, having a good old time. Got Life of the American Newsfront. We got some weather balloons. It goes over how they use weather balloons, just like I'm sure they do today. It's interesting because they did publish this. It was just kind of interesting. It says cosmic rays are mysterious streams of particle which continually bombard the Earth from the interstellar space. To study them, scientists climb mountains and send balloons into the stratosphere, lower instruments into the depths of the far-off lakes. From such efforts, a few small phases of the Angema have been cleared, a few types of particles measured, photographed, and weighed. And it's pretty interesting that they actually go through and kind of talk about this. Here we have Life on the American Newsfront. This is about his tooth, replaced again for public appearances, and just showing him without his tooth and then with his tooth. Here we have a handsome white Russian widow weds a white Russian baron in Manhattan. This has a picture of them. It's like they're in a Roman Catholic church, maybe, or Catholic church. Not sure. All right, we got the Emperor of Japan calls his reign area of radiant peace. Here it's at 3 in 1904, rides a white horse. His mother presently bore 3 more chinless boys. Some of the language in these is really quite interesting. The man of whom China is being conquered is the little 36-year-old Japanese at the right, with the receding chin and the smooth ivory-colored skin of the Japanese imperial family. This says from 1639 to 1853, Japan was hermetically sealed against the outside world. That means they were airtight sealed. I thought that was an interesting word they used. It means airtight, so completely sealed up. Kind of like we see in some of when Western warships mocked Japan's isolation 100 years ago, Japan hastened to defend itself with Western devices. It kind of goes over the... I'll try to zoom in on some of these, because if I read this thing, it's like I said, it's going to take hours. And I just kind of wanted to flip through it here and highlight some of these things, but they're very interesting. No doubt about it. This photograph shows what the Japanese army really looked like as it closed in on Port Arthur. This is what they really look like. Looks like a bunch of cornfields. Not sure exactly what that says. The event shown in the pictures of the following page is bathed in a double twilight, the dying afternoon and the garnished dawn of westernized Japan, ticked out with a badly copied Western uniforms, cheap bugles, and the new artillery with rifle bores. Covering the 17th century, Japan had inspected Western ways, found them unattractive, and strictly barred them for 200 years. So they're just kind of telling the people, hey, this is what happened. Got some interesting illustrations. The Japanese army slogs down Asia on scheduled time. Best brains in Tokyo keep soldiers happy at their work. Let's have some more picture. This is rich men, soldiers, politicians, aristocrats who are running the conquest of Asia. The Cabinet Advisory Council. So that's what those guys look like. Here we have a hot bath behind the front and a gasoline drum. So this guy's getting a hot bath. Notice soap and canvas water buckets. So this must be the soap and cannon buckets. Movie of the week, we have Nothing Sacred. Kind of goes behind maybe the scenes here. Frederick March's adventures in Vermont begin with a station agent who wants 50 cents for answering questions. Yep or nope. March, is your name Coolidge? Agent, nope. So this must be like the little skit. He next encounters a hatchet-faced storekeeper. March, mind if I sit down? Storekeeper, yep. March, sitting. I guess you misunderstood me, storekeeper. Nope. Anyway. Some more scenes here from, I believe, maybe the movie. Yep. Says a restless Congress wants Cactus Jack Garner to lead it. Here we have some dry whiskey. Here we have an amazing invention that ends the windshield. It's basically talking about the spring on the arm right here that kind of holds the tension against the window. Here we have Gardner's 30 years in Congress. A romantic moment. Hubby darling, from now on you get a cereal that has food value. Angel wifey, if it doesn't have flavor, I'll go straight home to mother. Why not coo over the cereal that has both? And here we have Wheatina, the hot brown wheat cereal. Free sample. You just got to send this in and get a free sample. December 37, listen. Radio's great gift to mankind. Toscani concert to be Christmas Day gift. We got an orchestra. says here, a new invention plays records through your radio. Thought this was an interesting picture here. Through the looking glass to a new sport. And they're advertising these tights or whatever. But just thought that was interesting. Here's a guy, kid wanting this jukebox. $15. Pretty cool, I'm sure, back then. This one says, you've never seen a lighter like this for your car. Pop it in and it says click. Here we have 1,001 ways to make your home more livable. Here's some more ice skating kind of propaganda thing. Like, let's do ice skating. Ice skating looms as a new sport craze. That's kind of what these tights were for, was the whole ice skating. This is when they were like, you got to wear these tights to be an ice skater. Make you more aerodynamic. And she's falling on the ice. The Chessy Family album. Here's a Filmo is even easier to use than still cameras. Film drops in place in less than 20 seconds. No focusing is required. The subject is always seen distinctly through the spyglass viewfinder, and what you see, you get. Looks like as little as 11 down, $55 you could have that. Pretty cool. Looks like a leading businesswoman here. Here we have Vicks Vatronol for cold relief or head colds. Here we have some spectacular advertising methods. We got a guy with a blimp kind of walking across the bottom. People are probably amazed to see that. Maybe they weren't. Got some watches. Scissors, looks like. Here you have Santa Claus saying, maybe I'll have to come to it. Maybe I'll have to come to it. For the children's sake, we hope Santa Claus resists the temptation to use a chic shaver. But every other male of shaving age should have someone to give him a chic shaver for a Christmas gift. It will bring such sheer joy and pleasure into the morning shave that he will remember as long as he lives and be everlastingly grateful. Never again he will fuss with soap and water, lather, brush, cream, powder, or lotions. Never again will he cut or scrape himself. Let his first happy shave be on Christmas morning, assuring him a Merry Christmas and happy... Maybe I'll have to come to it. That's funny. U.S. cares for sick ducks at hospital. Okay. What was the reason the ducks were sick? Here's the man releasing the duck back in the air. Now that it healed him. And we have a Christmas dinner section. Happy endings to modern Christmas dinners. Modern Christmas dinners. Got some jewelry. Some belts. No, I don't know if those are belts. Suspenders. Yeah, they might be belts. Oh, we got... Ooh, look at that picture. Look at that. That is... Where is this? And there's all these people lined up here. I don't even know where this is. But look at this. This is... Got some people's faces on here. Look what he's wearing too. The camera overseas. Stalin shows his daughter to the faithful. Oh, wow. It says Soviet Russia celebrates the great anniversary of Bolshevism. I screwed that up. Above the adequated Russian Baltic Fleet lights itself up on the river Neva off Leningrad, heavy cruiser in foreground, light cruisers and destroyers in background. It's a light show of ships that are destroying. Look at that, though. That is crazy. The U.S. is invited to arbitrate a massacre in its front garden. It says Haiti's National Palace was where Haiti's President Stenio Vincent received the American minister, President's suite, aides' quarters. It says society dances while black voodoo drums in the hills. Here it says Haitians and Catholics and voodooists. It's an interesting comparison. It says it's the face of Louis Roman, a voodoo priest. He speaks both Haitian and French and Parisian French. Has graduated from a Haitian high school, owns a shack in the jungle with a clearing for religious ceremonies and a vegetable patch. That's really weird. He is making the first gesture in the greeting ritual. That's the first gesture. London welcomes King Belgians as a loyal English gentleman. The camera overseas, King of Belgium sights white chalk cliffs of Dover. Whoa, wait a second. Look at that. Here are some famous Parker games: Monopoly, Boke, Carter's, Star Reporter. That looks like a complicated game. I don't know. Mexican Pete, Skyscraper, unique adult game. Huh. Parker Brothers. Let's see. Belgium's young king comes to London. Here you have a druggist note. It's funny. Oh, got athlete's foot. How to relieve it. You know how to prevent athlete's foot. They say you can't do this, but you pee on your feet. You pee on your feet when you're in the shower. It works. I can assure you. And also dry between each toe. That's how you prevent athlete's foot. According to Government Health Bulletin number E28, it is established that 50% of U.S. adult population is attacked by a disease known as athlete's foot. It's from your feet being wet and then putting shoes on. That's what it's from. But anyway, here it's talking how to prevent it. And then an athlete's foot, that's what they're priced, $1, and you can get that. All right, $2.50 for a pipe. Private lives are these obituaries. It says Dorothea Bowman was distressed when 3 Los Angeles deputy sheriffs took issue with her for sitting unsteadily on the curb and put her in jail. Blah! She expulsated when informed that the charge was intoxication. I wasn't drunk. I'd had a quarrel with my husband, John, and I was going to Arizona. I sat down on the curb to think things over. It's funny. In 1919, eloped with Alice Gordon Drexel of the Philadelphia banking family, disappeared soon after when he was accused of stealing $125,000 worth of jewels from Miss John D. Spreckles of San Francisco. Recently, he turned up in Bryn Mawr, PA hospital with 4 cents and a bad case of amnesia. Here we have, they all had antifreeze in their cars, but they all froze up. Looks like these are all getting married. Brides getting married here. Life's party. Yeah. We have some pictures to the editors. We got some statues here. Different statues. That one's kind of strange. This one's really strange. The Sea God by Carl Millers. Look at that. Statues, always naked. Never put clothes on. Who told you were naked? You know, how much money would someone save? I know it'd take years to normalize, but how much money would you save if you did not wear clothes? Probably save a whole lot. Stop doorbell nerves. Musical door chimes instead of brings. Electric door chimes. Some more whiskey, and for Christmas shopping or shipping, phone Railway Express. Here we have some the tapers of the altar during the dedication service. To light the tall candles at the sides, they stood tiptoe. So yeah, I guess that's one there. We have Santa Claus here again. It's a great picture. And we have a train fire. Look at that. These photos show the wrecking of 350 railroad cars and locomotives in the Harvard yards of the Frisco Railroad at Marion Ark near Memphis. The metal from these cars is being cut up for export to Italy to be used for war supplies. What? These cars are stacked and burned to remove the wood parts to facilitate cutting the metal into small pieces for handling. So they're cutting up trains because they needed metal?